Once again, I welcome you all to the biology classroom. Next, we are moving on to our second chapter, Windows of Knowledge. Hope you all understood the first chapter, Sensation and Response, and I hope you all have done the first monthly test very well. In our daily life, in each and every moment, we are attaining some knowledge, isn't? So how we are attaining this knowledge? It is through the sense organs of our body. So which are the sense organs of our body? Our sense organs are eye, ear, nose, tongue and skin. We have 5 sense organs. So it is through these 5 sense organs we are attaining knowledges. In this chapter, we are going to have a detailed study about our sense organs. In the first page of this chapter, you can see a newspaper report regarding the earthquake of Nepal, and in the news it says that they uses a dog for the rescue operation to detect the victim and to save their life during this crisis. So what do you understand from this newspaper report? The dogs have special ability to detect something as in. So that's why they are using dogs for the rescue operations. The number of receptors in the sense organs is different in different organisms. The surface of a postage stamp, you know what is a postage stamp, is enough to arrange all the olfactory receptors or all the olfactory cells in the nose of a human being. But a large scarf is required to arrange the olfactory cells of a dog. So it is clear that the ability of the dog to detect smell is much greater than human beings. So that's why dogs are used in such rescue operations and all. The number of receptors influences the efficiency of sense organs. So dogs are having a large number of receptors than human beings. So there are other organisms which will be having more number of receptors than human beings. So if the number of receptors in our body or the body of an organism increases, it increases the efficiency of the organism. There are different type of receptors in our sense organ to receive stimulus. So that is what we are going to study in this chapter. We have eyes to see, ear to hear, tongue to taste, nose to smell and skin to receive many things. So these are the sense organs of our body. So eye is having light receptor which help to receive light and to see the things around us. Ear is having sound receptors, that is audio receptors. Tongue is having taste receptor or chemoreceptors to recognize the taste. Nose is having olfactory receptors to recognize different smell, and skin is having many receptors to know heat, cold, touch, pain, etc. Now we are going to study about our sense organ eye. Let us see what are the protective measures in our eye. Protective measures in our eye. How our eyes are protected. Eyes are protected inside a depression in the skull which is known as the eye socket. Then it has external eye muscle which fix the eyeball in the orbit or in the socket. So it is the external eye muscle which help to fix the eye within the socket of the skull. Our eyes are having eyebrows, eyelashes and eyelids. The function of these three are to protect the eye from dust, insect particle or foreign particles. Apart from this, our eyes are having conjunctiva, which secrete mucus, which protect the anterior portion of the eyeball from being dry. So it prevents the dryness of our eye. And our eyes are having tears. It cleans and lubricates the anterior part of the eyeball, and the lysozyme, which is present in the tear, help to destroy the germs that enters the eye. So next we are going to study about the structure of eye. So next we are going to study about the structure of eye, which is a major sense organ of our body. So on page number 22 you can see the structure of eye. The structure of eye can be divided into three major parts, that is three major layers, that is sclera, choroid and retina. So let us check out the details of these three layers. The first one is sclera. Sclera is a white outer layer which gives firmness to the eye, and it consists of many connective tissue. So this is the sclera. Sclera is a white outer layer which consists of connective tissues. The next one is a choroid. Choroid is a middle layer. Here you can see the choroid. Choroid is a middle layer which contains large number of blood vessels. So it is a middle layer which contains large number of blood vessels. And the innermost layer is called the retina. Retina is the innermost layer which contains photoreceptors. So what are photoreceptors? So receptors, in the first chapter we have studied what are receptors. Receptors are the special kind of cell which receive the stimulus. So from the word photoreceptors you have understood that what is its function. Photoreceptors. Photo means light, that is the receptors which receive the light stimulus is known as photoreceptors. So it is in this retina photoreceptors are present. So here you can see in the yellow color portion is the retina portion. So this contains the photoreceptors. So we studied about the three layers of eye, that is sclera, choroid and retina. Next we can check out what are the parts which comes under these three layers. First one is sclera. Sclera consists sclera. The white transparent part is the sclera. Sclera consists of two parts. One is cornea and other one is a conjunctiva. So cornea, what is cornea is? Cornea is the projected transparent anterior part of the sclera which reflects light rays to focus on the retina. So this is the cornea. Transparent anterior part of the sclera. Anterior means front part of the sclera which refracts light rays to focus on the retina. Transparent anterior part of the sclera which refracts the light rays to focus on the retina. So this is the cornea. And next one is a conjunctiva. This is conjunctiva. So what is the function of conjunctiva is the layer which covers and protects the front part of the sclera except the cornea. So this is the conjunctiva. Conjunctiva covers and protects the front part of the sclera. So we know this is the sclera. The white part is called the sclera. In this, conjunctiva protects the front part of the sclera. So this is the front part of the sclera except the cornea. So except the cornea, conjunctiva protects the front part of the sclera. So conjunctiva and cornea are the two parts which comes under the layer sclera. Then choroid. Choroid is the second layer. So what is the function of choroid? As it contains large number of blood vessels and it is the second layer, middle layer of the eye. The parts which comes under choroid is iris, pupil, lens and ciliary muscles. Iris. So here you can see iris. The part of the choroid seen behind the cornea. The part of the choroid. So this is the iris is a part of the choroid which is seen behind the cornea. So here you can see cornea and iris is seen just behind the cornea. Presence of the pigment melanin gives iris a dark color. So this is iris as the dark color. So when you look at the eye of a person, you can see dark colored portion or black or brownish colored portion. That is the iris. So this dark color is due to the presence of pigment melanin. So melanin gives dark coloration to the iris. Depending on the concentration of iris or the amount of melanin present in iris, the color of the iris vary from gray to black. So this is iris. Then next is pupil. The next part which comes under choroid as a pupil. This is the pupil. The aperture seen at the center of the iris is called the pupil. The size of this aperture increases and decreases depending on the intensity of light. So this aperture, this gap is known as a pupil. And this aperture or the size of this aperture increases and decreases depending on the intensity of light. So when we are exposed to high intense light, this aperture decreases. So when we are exposed to less intensity light, the aperture increases. So it increases and decreases depending on the intensity of light. The reason I will tell you on next class. So this is the pupil. And the so here you can see a convex lens. So this is the third part of the layer choroid. So lens is the elastic, transparent, convex lens connected to the ciliary muscle by thread-like filament. So this is the elastic, transparent, convex lens connected with the thread-like ciliary muscle. Here is the ciliary muscle. These are the ciliary muscle and the lens is connected with the help of ciliary muscles. Next is the ciliary muscle. Ciliary muscles or circular muscles are seen around the lens. So around the lens you can see this muscle. The contraction and relaxation of this muscle alter the curvature of the lens. So this is the curvature of the lens. Here you can see this is a curvature. This curvature increases and decreases depending on the contraction and relaxation of this ciliary muscle. So which are the parts which comes under choroid layers? Iris, pupil, lens and ciliary muscles. Okay, these are the parts which comes under the layer choroid. So next is the innermost layer, which is the retina. Retina consists of yellow spot, blind spot and optic nerve. Yellow spot, blind spot and optic nerve. So let us check out what is yellow spot. The part of the retina where plenty of photoreceptors are present. it is the point of maximum visual clarity. So I told you what is a photoreceptor. The receptors which receive light stimulus is called the photoreceptors. So plenty of photoreceptors are seen in the yellow spot. So maximum visual clarity is possible at the yellow spot. The next is blind spot. So what is blind spot is the part of the retina from where the optic nerve begins. So here you can see this is a blind spot, and it is from this blind spot that the optic nerve begins. Here there is no vision as photoreceptors are absent. So here in this point vision is not possible because there is no photoreceptor at this point. Next is optic nerve. Transmit impulses from the photoreceptors to the visual center in the brain as a function of the optic nerve. So what is the function of the optic nerve is it carry impulses from the photoreceptors to the visual center of the brain. So the parts which comes under retina layer is a yellow spot where maximum photoreceptors are present and maximum visual clarity is possible. Blind spot where no photoreceptors are present, vision is not possible, and it is from this blind spot optic nerve begins. Then optic nerve, it is a nerve which carries light impulses from photoreceptors to the visual area of our brain. So these are the parts of our eye. So once again, let us check out what are the parts of sclera, choroid and retina. Sclera consists of cornea and conjunctiva. Choroid consists of iris, pupil, lens and ciliary muscles. Retina consists of yellow spot, blind spot and optic nerve. Hope you all understood today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.